computer. And good evening to this last session on Terra Madre Day. Gosh, wasn't that lecture really wonderful with Dr. Sally Bell? I'm sure you've learned a lot, as so did I. So the last session today is the much anticipated Slow Food UK Awards. The awards have been running now in various form for 7 years. For the last 3 years, we've had awards taking place in all of our nations and in the UK. You have voted in your thousands this year. We've never had so many people vote. And it's really, really wonderful and a great testament to all of you at home who have been voting. What we're going to do is we're going to go through category by category, taking you through the winners. And at the end of each of those categories, we'll then tell you who the UK winner was as well. So sit back, have a little glass of something, maybe something sparkly if you are in the running. Maybe you've been asking people to vote for you, and we'll let you know. So the very first category is the Slow Food Butcher of the Year. And for England, they're a past winner, a very, very famous butcher. It is Edge and Son, based in the Wirral. Also winners in the past of BBC Good Food Producer of the Year. So congratulations to Ed and Son, England Butcher of the Year. So Northern Ireland Butcher, Paula McIntyre, Director of Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Butcher of the Year in Northern Ireland is Hannon Meats, the meat merchant in Moira, owned by Peter Hannon.
Fantastic. And Butcher of the Year for Scotland, Slow Food Scotland, Walter Murdoch, Director of Scotland.
Hi. The winner for Scotland is Grocer Organic. It's a mixed farm run by Sasha and Hugh Grierson. Was the winner 2 years ago and was narrowly beaten last year, I believe.
Fantastic. And we have Butcher of the Year for Slow Food Cymru Wales. We have Nia Williams here, Director of Slow Food Cymru Wales.
Well, I'm absolutely delighted this evening that Oriel Jones is the winner in Wales. They were set up a number of years ago in southwest Wales in a little town called Llanybydder, and now they've diversified over to Cardiff, and they're now producing meat locally in West Wales and selling it to the good people of Cardiff.
Fantastic. Now the race to be Butcher of the Year for the entirety of the UK, that's the person that got the most votes in all the nations, was very, very tight, but the winner was Edge and Son in the Wirral. So Slow Food UK Butcher of the Year goes to Edge and Son. Congratulations to them. Slow Food Greengrocer of the Year. We'll start with Northern Ireland. Paula, Greengrocer Northern Ireland was?
Yeah, the winner for Northern Ireland actually is Flemish Market Garden in Ballymena, and it's owned by Frank McCook, his wife Linda, and their son Matt, and they're fantastic. If you ever find yourself in that area, they're doing everything brilliantly. They're such deserved winners. They're fantastic. I've got some of their pumpkins over there in the corner, so they're brilliant.
That's a real vote of endorsement there.
Yeah.
And the Slow Food Scotland Greengrocer of the Year.
Well, for the third year in a row, we have East Coast Organics. It's based in East Lothian in the quaint sounding village of Boggs Holdings. They grow their own vegetables, of course, and they have started to expand a little bit into a farm shop, and they do deliveries to Edinburgh. They now have electric vans for that, which is even better. And during the COVID period, they've expanded into some other meat products as well. So they've been doing their thing for COVID. Congratulations to them.
Fantastic. And the Slow Food Cymru Wales Greengrocer of the Year.
Well, the greengrocer for Wales comes from northeast Wales this time, and it's the Harden Estate farm shop. And not only does it serve northeast Wales, but also northwest England, because it's very close to Chester and we can actually see Chester. It's run by the Gladstone family, who are very well known in growing all sorts of fruits and vegetables, and also in organising events and promoting local foods and Welsh and small producers from all over the UK. So a well-deserved winner.
Fantastic. And the Slow Food England Greengrocer of the Year is Darts Farm down in Totsham. There's a real slow food mecca down there. They're very close to Quicks and to Piper's Farm at Darts Farm, again, another very tight race in votes, the Slow Food England Greengrocer of the Year. And the Slow Food UK Greengrocer of the Year is, I believe we've got a winner, the Slow Food UK winner from the director there.
Ah, yes, East Coast Organics has improved over the last 2 years, even over the last 2 years, and they have got the accolade for the UK. So fantastic.
Fantastic, and congratulations to all those winners. So we then move to Fishmonger of the Year. So we will start with Slow Food Scotland Fishmonger of the Year.
Fishmonger of the Year in Scotland is Welsh's, which is a very well-established fishmonger, been going since the late 1950s. It's based down in Newhaven, which is the traditional fishing port of Edinburgh. And they've both a wholesale and a retail business. The wholesale business serves many of Edinburgh's brilliant restaurants. And they have just expanded into a fish and chip shop, although fairly high-end fish and chip shop with in partnership with one of the hotels in Edinburgh.
Fantastic. And the Slow Food Cymru Wales Fishmonger of the Year.
But this time we head down to southwest Wales to the county of Pembrokeshire, and the winner is Simply Seafood in the town of Tenby. And where else would you expect to find a really good fishmonger than in this wonderful town, which has great food and great provenance of produce.
Fantastic. Well, the Slow Food England Fishmonger of the Year is Wards of Birkenhead. They've been trading since the 1920s. We've got some quite substantially running businesses here, and they are the most incredible fishmongers. And they also provided turbot to the Queen. So they've got a real accolade there. So congratulations to Wards and Birkenhead, not that far away from Edge and Son. So clearly, those of you been voting up in the northwest have perhaps been voting for both. But Wards of Birkenhead, English Fishmonger of the Year, and the Fishmonger for Northern Ireland, Paula.
Yeah, Fishmonger for Northern Ireland is it's a fishmonger that's been in Belfast since the early 1900s. It's Ewing's Seafood. It's run by Walter Ewing and his sons Warren and Crawford. It's an amazing fish shop. I'm so pleased with this. Their smoked salmon is divine, so that's great. Congratulations, delighted for them.
Sounds a really worthy winner. And the overall Slow Food in the UK Fishmonger of the Year, again, it goes to the northwest of England. It's Wards of Birkenhead. So congratulations to them. So moving on to the next category, which is Best Delicatessen or General Grocer. And we'll start with Slow Food Cymru Wales Best Deli or Grocer.
Well, the best deli in Wales this year is Ultra Comida in Narberth. Now, this deli not only has presence in Narberth, which is also in Pembrokeshire, but also they have a branch in Aberystwyth. And I can tell you it's one of the best delis that you can find. And also they import wonderful olives from all over Europe. And they also let you go and sit there when COVID isn't happening. So you can actually sit down and have one of their special meals as well. So llongyfarchiadau Ultra Comida.
Fantastic. Well, the Slow Food England deli stroke grocer. Again, we've got another win to Darts Farm down in Topsham. So clearly you've been voting substantially there. Darts Farm is a really quite large farm shop operation, a very big deli stroke grocery line attached. So congratulations to Darts Farm down in South Devon. And Northern Irish deli grocer, Paula.
Yeah, the winner of the deli in Northern Ireland is Indie Food in Cumber. It's run by Johnny McDowell and Laura Bradley, both brilliant Slow Food supporters. And it's a fantastic deli of just exclusively Irish products. So, and they're great champions of all the producers in Northern Ireland especially. So worthy winners.
And the Slow Food Scotland deli or grocer of the year.
Oh, we have a newcomer for this. We have Real Foods, who have 2 shops in Edinburgh. And although they're new to the awards here, they've actually been going for more than 50 years in Edinburgh. And can remember them, maybe not quite that far back, but I have used them extensively myself. They are the largest natural food retailer, as they describe themselves. So basically organic, vegetarian, vegan, fair trade, gluten-free, specialist, whole food place. Excellent stuff, and congratulations to them.
Fantastic, and indeed congratulations. And the overall slow food in the UK, deli or grocer for 2020 is Darts Farm. So congratulations to them down in South Devon. So that's a UK win for them. So congratulations. Moving on to Cheesemonger, one of the most fought over categories. We have enormous numbers of votes being cast for this category. Those of you that haven't voted, you could vote for all or just some of the categories. Some categories do receive more votes, and you have voted for Cheesemonger more than any other. So the Slow Food England Cheesemonger of the Year, someone very well known to the Slow Food family, is Heritage Cheese of London. And Paula, the Slow Food Northern Ireland Cheesemonger.
Yeah, we're back to Indie Food and Cumber again. So they've won Cheesemonger of the Year, and again, the great supporters of cheese in Ireland. So it's the exclusively Irish cheeses with all the Northern Irish cheeses. So that a really worthy winner, because they're not only cheesemongers, they're supporters of producers, especially this year. They've been fantastic.
Fantastic. Walter, in Scotland, Slow Food Scotland Cheesemonger of the Year.
We have, for the third year in a row, Ian Melis, who set up his first shop in Edinburgh 27 years ago, and I remember that one as well. He's now got 5 shops, 3 in Edinburgh, 1 in Glasgow and 1 in St Andrews. And in addition to that, he's got a maturing warehouse down in Leith, which I've been in, and it's something to see. Yeah, he's using some of the modern technologies to make sure that the cheese is at its best. A real professional as far as farmhouse cheese is concerned. So congratulations to you.
Congratulations indeed. And Nia, the Slow Food Cymru Wales Cheesemonger of the Year.
The cheesemonger this year is Pant Mawr Farmhouse Cheeses. The Jennings family came over back to Wales after being out developing cheese factories out in Yemen, apparently. And they've come home and made some incredible cheeses, which are distributed throughout Wales and beyond. Another worthy winner, which are based down in Pembrokeshire.
Well, absolutely fantastic. The winner of the Slow Food UK Cheesemonger of the Year, we've had lots of people win this award every year, the same people. It was no different with Heritage Cheese. And they have also won the Slow Food in the UK Cheesemonger of the Year every year. They have again won it this year. I think probably a testament to all they do with us. But again, congratulations to them. So moving on to Slow Food Bread or Baker of the Year. And Paula, in Northern Ireland, the winner was?
Yeah, it's Ursha Minor Bakery in Ballycastle, run by Dara and Ciara. Honestly, a beautiful bakery. I eat their bread every week. It's based on the North Coast, and they're a great young couple. They've got a cafe. Their cakes are beautiful, but their sourdough bread and their croissants they're probably the best you'll ever get. They're beautiful.
Fantastic. And the Slow Food Scotland Bread or Baker of the Year, Walter?
We have a newcomer and a relatively young business as well. It's 12 Triangles, which grew out of originally a coffee shop when they decided that they would send their cake maker to a bread making course. And as a result of that, they now have 5 shops in Edinburgh with fantastic sourdough bread. Everything's 100% slow fermentation sourdough. Brilliant. It really is good. I eat it not every day, but most.
And the Slow Food Cymru Wales Bread or Baker of the Year?
Well, once again, the category has been won by Harden Farm Food. Sorry, we'll start again. Don't laugh. My daughter's laughing. Once Once again, this category has been won by Harden Estate Farm Shop, run by the Gladstone family, and it's wonderful news that this year one of their daughters, Xanthe, has come back from London and is actively taking part. So it's great to see a new, younger generation being involved in the business, and their bread. Oh, there'd be no hope for me if I ate that bread every single day, but it is so delicious, and well done once again. Llongyfarchiadau.
Fantastic. And the best bread or baker in England. Before I say this, we've been running these awards within England now for 7 years before we changed them UK-wide. We've had the same winner every single year. Is it the same this year? And actually, it's not. We have a new winner, and the winner is Peter Cook's Bread, which I think is the most wonderful name for a baker. But Peter Cook heads up Peter Cook's Bread. He is the winner of the Slopey England Baker of the Year. He is a member of the Real Bread Campaign, and actually he also won the Britain's Best Loaf award as well earlier in the year. So the most tremendous baker. Congratulations to him. As I say, he's a new winner to the category. And the Slow Food in the UK Baker of the Year is indeed again Peter Cook's Bread. So congratulations to Peter, first time winner, and also UK winner. So absolutely tremendous. Another very, very tightly fought over category is the best market of the year, Slow Food Market of the Year. And Walter, the market of the year for Scotland is?
Well, for the 3rd year in a row, it's the Edinburgh Farmers Market. Now, it was set up probably about maybe 10 years ago by a sort of business development Quango offshoot from Edinburgh Council called Essential Edinburgh. But this year, it has broken free from those constraints, and it is now a farmers market cooperative. So they're able to do a few more things. They have more control over their own destiny. So congratulations to them. Well done.
Thank you. And near the Slow Food Cymru Wales Market of the Year.
Well, we head down to the other extreme of Wales, back again to Pembrokeshire. So we must have a lot of support down in Pembrokeshire now. They've woken up to slow food. And I'm delighted that it's Haverfordwest Farmers Market. It's in a very rural area with fantastic local produce and producers who support it, and also a great county town. And the public love this market. So it's great to put Haverfordwest on the map once again.
Fantastic. Well, the Slow Food England market perhaps isn't a surprise. It's a very loved market, one of our most famous markets in the UK, in fact, probably one of the most famous markets in the world. It is Borough Market, which has taken that. They are now the only winner that has won every single year, going back the 7 years that we've had some kind of awards running. And as I say, share the spot for the last 3 years with a handful of other winners. So congratulations to Borough Market, winner of Slow Food England Market of the Year. And Paula, the best market in Northern Ireland, Slow Food Northern Ireland Market of the Year.
Yeah, it's St George's Market in Belfast. A lovely market. It's in an old red brick Victorian building in Belfast. It was rejuvenated really maybe about 15 years ago. And if you want to get beautiful oysters or fish or bread, it's everything under one roof, and it's beautiful. It's one of my favorite places to go. It's gorgeous.
Fantastic. Well, the Slow Food in the UK Market of the Year is Borough Market. I should again reinforce that this is a public vote. There is no conflict of interest. I'm a trustee of Borough Market, which some of you will know, but this is a genuine public vote. Borough Market have won Market of the Year again, trading there now for more than 1,000 years, and just the very, very pinnacle of food from right across the UK. Whatever it is that you're looking for, you can find something really, really delicious at Borough Market. So we're now going to move on to another very, very heavily and tightly fought contest, which is Slow Food Restaurant or Eatery of the Year. The reason we use the word eatery is this also includes things like food trucks, pop-ups, and so forth. So let's start in Wales. Near the Slow Food Cymru Wales Eatery of the Year is?
Well, You've all heard of Gavin and Stacey and the fact they're from Barry. Well, this year's winner is from Barry, actually, and it's the Hang Fire Kitchen.
Oh,
They started off as a food stall, and then the two owners, Samantha Evans and Shauna Gwynn, they've moved into a permanent building now. And not only that, they had a television series last year, travelling the breadth of Wales, trying local specialities. And I think they've been on Saturday Kitchen on
they
Saturday
are.
morning. So they're a really great team, and the produce that they have is absolutely fantastic. I just wish there was a, direct train or a direct motorway that I could get me down there in less than 4 hours. But it's certainly somewhere to visit when you're down in the Barry Island.
Absolutely fantastic. That sounds delicious. So the Slow Food England Restaurant of the Year, again, third year running. It's Riverside Inn by Andy Link, just outside of Leicester. So congratulations to Andy. As I say, his third year. That's the Riverside Inn. So Paula, the restaurant eatery in Northern Ireland for 2020.
Yeah, I'm delighted about this because it's one that's just 2 miles up the road here, and it's native seafood and scran and Korean, and it's run by Stevie and Rebecca McCarry, and they opened their business this year, and God love them, and they never really got a chance to open, maybe for about a couple of months, and they have done wonders, and they've just, everything that's been thrown at them this year they've embraced, and they're just slow food advocates. It's all sustainable wild fish. The menu changes all the time, and it's just become so popular. We talk about the Irish paradox in that we live in an island and we don't embrace the fish that comes from here. But they have been educating people. They've been introducing them to species like ling that you would never see before. So they're such deserved winners. They're a young couple. They're absolutely brilliant. I'm just so delighted for them for this. Congratulations.
Fantastic. And Walter, Slow Food Scotland.
Well, it's an old friend, Neil Forbes' Cafe Saint-Honoré. Now, there again, it's a very, very strong slow food supporter. We have many meetings in Cafe Saint-Honoré, and Neil is just a fabulous champion of everything that slow food believes in. And not only is he a brilliant chef, and the food is fantastic and wholesome and everything, but the restaurant itself it's almost like being transferred into Paris, because it's a very natural French bistro type environment. It is just really lovely. So a great win for him for the second time in 3 years.
Absolutely.
He was narrowly beaten last year. I think he must have felt that.
He was very narrowly beaten. He was beaten last year by Andy Link, as we said. He won last year, and he's again taken the best in England. So let's find out if it was Cafe Sonora or whether it was the Riverside in this year. And the winner this year for the UK was
Cafe Saint-Honoré.
It switched over. It was again very, very tight. But yes, congratulations to Neil, and a win to Scotland. So the last category of the public vote is the product of the year. All of these votes, as I say, are public votes. But product of the year probably has the biggest breadth. I think all of us have particular favorite things that we like eating. So of all of the entries that we have, everyone has a complete free vote of what they can vote for. The biggest breadth of answers that we receive are in this particular category. So it's been really, really tough. But we'll start with Paula in Northern Ireland, your product of the year for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, the product of the year for Northern Ireland is made by Mike Thompson. He's a cheesemaker, and his cheese is called Young Buck. His company's called Mike's Fancy Cheese, but Young Buck is a beautiful cheese. It's like a Stilton, and it's a stunning cheese. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's as good as a Stilton, I have to say. And Mike has a cheese shop in Belfast now, and again where he's selling cheeses from small producers in small dairies in England, in Wales, Scotland, and also the rest of Ireland. So he's a great supporter of slow food. It's Northern Ireland's only raw milk cheese. So he's and he's a member of the Presidium of cheeses in Ireland. So a very worthy winner. Beautiful cheese if you ever want to try it. Gorgeous.
And we all want to buy it, and we all want
definitely.
To and he's a slow food supporter as well. So
he's absolutely, yeah.
He's absolutely on. Slow Food Scotland Product of the Year, Walter.
Okay, last year we were in Shetland. This year we've moved a little bit further south, but only as far as Orkney. It's the Orkney bear meal, which is an ancient form of barley. Been grown up in around the Bursey area in Orkney for the last at least 300 years. That's as far as the records go back, but it's probably a lot longer than that. I've seen it made into oat cakes, into biscuits, into bread, into beer, and I've tasted all of that, and it's excellent. It is, of course, an Ark of Taste product, and congratulations for that.
Congratulations, and really delicious. Nia, the slow food product for Wales.
Well, I'm absolutely delighted that it's a slow food member that's won this category. June and Cynan Jones from Bedd Gelert, and they're the winner with the mushroom powder. And it's well worth visiting Cynan because he's created spring and summer in 2 metal containers, shipping containers, where he grows all these mushrooms. And apparently the story goes that this powder was the fact that they had so much leftover mushrooms in tiny bits, and June came up with this product using a food processor. And that's how this product has come about. And always a fantastic welcome from slow food members and also anybody else interested in food in Bedd Gelert. Felly, llongyfarchiadau gwresog iawn I Cynan a June. I chi'n heiddi y wobr yn fawr iawn. A diolch am eich cefnogaeth.
Wonderful. I think you're going to have to provide us some subtitles, Nia.
You'll just have to learn Welsh.
We'll have to learn Welsh. But congratulations to them. The Slow Food England Product of the Year. We had vote after vote after vote after vote for this product. It's made in Berkshire. They have a unit on the Sheepdrover estate. The company is called Pama. They're slow food producers. And they produce sauerkraut and fermented foods. And it was the Pama sauerkraut that became Product of the Year. They're an incredibly worthy winner. I think, having just also had Dr. Sally give her lecture speaking about gut health and the importance of gut health, we all know that fermented foods are incredibly good for us and good for our health. So I think after Dr. Sally, we couldn't have had a better winner, but Pama had an enormous number of votes. And the Slow Food UK Product of the Year, I've probably just given it away by just saying how many of you voted for the Pama sauerkraut, but by a very large margin. It was Pama. So Slow Food UK Product of the Year 2020 in these awards is the Pama sauerkraut, and enormous congratulations. So all of the categories that we have just announced were all voted for you by you at home. It's a complete public vote. We make no shortlisting at all. And that's very, very important to us in these awards. There are lots of different food awards. Very often they're shortlisted and you see great people winning, but they tend to appear to be the same people. And that's because the same people kind of shortlist. And I think these awards are just wonderful because we discover, and actually all of us as directors discover new people and new products as well. So thank you for voting. But there is one category that each of us votes for, and that's the Person of the Year. And I'm going to invite Walter Mowat to give us the Slow Food Scotland Person of the Year.
Having some slight problems with this dog at the moment. I think it might be more to that. Anyway,
but the Slow Food Person of the Year.
The Slow Food Person is Dawn Dark from Brewster's. Now, Dawn, well, just as a little bit of context and the reason why I and the Slow Food Scotland trustees chose Dawn is that we decided that there was definitely going to have to be a quite solid COVID influence in terms of the choice that we made. And if you think back to the Terra Madre Fringe discussion that Donald Reid had with the two Glasgow chefs and Steve from Edinburgh, any one of them could have actually been the person of the year on the basis of the COVID work alone. However, Dawn has very strong COVID credentials, which I'll come to in a minute. But she is also the chairman of the chairperson of the Farmers Market Cooperative, and helped to steer it into the position that it's in just now, which is for which we've seen some significant changes, some additional stalls and some relaxations in some areas and some tightening up in others. So she's been doing a great job there. In terms of the COVID work that she was involved in, as soon as the lockdown occurred, she had a web form up on the internet for obviously for her own stock, but also for some of the smaller farmers market stallholders who didn't necessarily have the skills or the ability or maybe even the time to be able to do that. But it's more than just that. She also provided a kind of distribution hub as well as an ordering hub, and allowed some of the stallholders who would have been really stuck for selling, particularly since some of them come from relatively far away, in order to go to the market. So providing a coordination for all of that was a tremendous job. So how she's able to do that and do most of these deliveries herself, and run with her husband a mixed farm out in Fife, where they have beef, mutton, chickens, pork, seasonal fruit when they have it as well. I just don't know how she manages to fit it all in. So she's a fabulous winner, and I'm really pleased that I was able to nominate her.
Congratulations. And Nia, the Slow Food Cymru Wales Person of the Year.
Well, the person we'd like to nominate in Wales is David Lee Wilson. David first came to North Wales to study at the University of Wales in Bangor, and decided after falling in love with the place that he would stay on the Isle of Anglesey. First of all, during their student days, both he and Alison, his wife, they used to grow oysters, cultivate oysters, and to supplement their meagre student finances. Anyway, they stayed. They then set up the Anglesey Sea Zoo, rearing, well, do you rear fish? No, you, what do you do with fish?
Farm them? No.
Farm.
Rear them?
Do they farm? Where they had fish, and they turned it into a fantastic tourism attraction and educational centre as well. And then in 1997, they left a saucepan of water on the stove, and that's where the idea came for setting up their world-renowned company, Hallen Morn, or Anglesey Sea Salt. And as a result, they've set up a fantastic centre where you can learn all about the cultivation of the salt from the Menai Straits, which is one of the cleanest waterways in the UK. And also an educational centre where youngsters of all ages can learn about how to make salt. He works very, very quietly in the background, but the things he does are fantastic. And he's currently involved in the Green Recovery document in Wales, which starts a fantastic awakening for a number of projects in Wales within food, within farming, food production. And we're very pleased to announce that David Lee Wilson, who's a staunch slow food supporter, been involved in the Anglesey branch and now involved in North Wales and Wales, Cymru Wales Slow Food. So llongyfarchiadau, David.
Congratulations to David. So the Slow Food England Person of the Year is Kate Smith. Kate Smith of Birmingham, much like we heard an earlier winner, was very much involved in the Terra Madre Fringe. Kate gave a session on food hubs, She set up a food hub in Birmingham from scratch and brought producers together to sell directly to communities. Then COVID hit, so she increased the reach of that food hub, took over community space and organised and managed to get food into the centre of the city. She also provided food to people who couldn't get out, again taking that food herself to people and giving an outlet for food. She had the idea when the farmers said that they had 10 tons of potatoes, which was going to go to waste, that she would set up something called the Potato Project, and she set this up in just 2 days. She took the potatoes and put them in 10 kilo bags. And what she then did is she charged for the potatoes, she charged for all 10 kilos, but she took 2 kilos out of each of those bags with the consent of the people buying and gave that to people in need, to the local soup kitchens. So what she gave is the farmer had the full value of the crop, which was very important, and people were then paying for that to go out. Alongside that, she was very heavily involved in things like the soup kitchen. She's involved in setting up a sustainable city in Birmingham, in local food growing. In fact, anything relating to food growing and sustainable food, Katie's all over it. She is sending emails at midnight and then will then send you another one at 6 in the morning. It is an amazing lady. She was recognised by the Daily Telegraph for her projects over COVID, and she was also on BBC Farming Today with her work in supporting farmers. She'll be incredibly modest and tell you that she has an enormous team of volunteers, and she does work with lots and lots of other people within the city of Birmingham. But Kate is the captain of the ship. Those ideas very much came initially from her, though very much implemented with others. In addition to all of this, she is also the leader of Slow Food Birmingham. I say also. She does that on top, but her nomination for Slow Food England is really about the work that she's done in feeding the needy and her work with COVID in the city of Birmingham. And Paul, you're going to tell us the Slow Food Northern Ireland of the year for 2020.
Yeah, the Slow Food Northern Ireland person is Jilly Duggan. So Jilly has been involved in agri-food for about 25 years. She's a great slow food champion. When we've ever had festivals, Jilly's been there. So she's a grower. Essentially, she's a grower. And what she does is her whole thing is to try and encourage young people, children especially, to eat. And her ethos is that the younger you get them to grow and eat what they grow, the better. So she brought out a book a couple of years ago called Sow, Grow, Munch. And I think that went to most of the schools in Northern Ireland. She backed that up by visiting lots of schools. She's set up gardens in schools. At festivals, she'll come in with her peas and, plant peas, and kids go away. And then parents get back to me and back to her and say that they actually eat greens now because of the peas. So she's an educator. She's currently working on an environmental project in Northern Ireland called Food for Thought, again to encourage people to grow and to eat as well. So, and she's completely steeped in slow food. I think Jilly's whole life is slow food. So a very, very worthy winner in Northern Ireland.
Congratulations to Ginny.
Yeah, congratulations.
She was in the Terra Madre Fringe.
She was in the Terra Madre Fringe.
Many of you at home again may have seen Jilly. Each of these winners are winners. It's very important for us to say that. So they're each a winner in their nation. And when it comes to Slow Food UK Person of the Year, the winner is drawn from one of these four. Really, the winner could have been any of these four. They're all incredibly inspirational individuals, all doing amazing work and all rightfully recognised. But there does need to be a winner, and the winner this year is Kate Smith of Slow Food England, who's also the Person of the Year. That brings us to the end of these awards. I hope you've enjoyed voting and taking part and watching as much as we've enjoyed this here. To all of our winners, congratulations. You will have your certificates probably in the post in these COVID times. Normally we would do that in person, but you will receive those and your respective directors will be in touch. Whatever it is you're doing for Christmas and New Year, the dreaded C word, it's almost upon us. 2 weeks away. It's that being the 10th of December today. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for your support of Slow Food over this year. And I wish you and your families a very happy and peaceful Christmas. And from all of us here, thank you and good night.